How are we doing, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video we're going to be going around the farm, having a look at some of the crops and seeing how they're doing, really. So it's going to be a bit of a walk around and to show you where the fields are and sort of the growth stages of the crops. If you're new to the channel, we grow potatoes, sugar beet, wheat, barley and peas, and yeah, let's get on. So I thought this is a good place to start. We're on the spring barley. I think we've got 4 fields of spring barley, and if you watch previous videos, we've been drilling it on the 2 fields uptown and the 2 fields on rented land down here. So the soil's nice and black because it's the fens, and that's the soil type. Real good stuff and nice to farm. Doesn't really compact that much, depending on what you do and how you establish the crops. Doesn't compact that much, and compaction is when you've got your heavy machinery, your heavy tractors, and you're running over a certain amount of ground that many times. It forms a pan in the soil, in the layers of the soil, and compacts it all down. You can see when you drill a crop, whether you first drill it, it will go brown, and yeah, that's not what you want. You need to break that pan of soil up. So like I've said before, we tend to plough a lot of our ground, a lot of our land. We plough and use a combination drill and a power harrow, but recently we've bought that new drill, and hopefully we're going to use the power harrow less and use the plough less as well, and sort of establish the same crops that way, more efficiently and more cost effective. Now, when I last did a spring barley update, when I put the fertiliser on, it weren't that high, it weren't great. We've had very dry conditions. When I did that last video, we didn't have a lot of rain, but now I honestly can't believe it. I don't know what Dad's done. I don't know what he's sprayed on here. He's to make it like this. I'm pretty sure he's put some sort of foliar feed on. Well, I do know what he sprayed on here, but I'm not giving it away for you viewers. It's a certain mix, and we don't want anyone copying our yields, do we? But anyway, whether that's down to good agronomy or just the way we do things, but we'll just take a look at this now. We'll just go down a tram line because my feet are getting absolutely soaking. Should have put wellies on. But you can see the plant, the thickness in the barley. It really is good. It's established itself very well. And like I've said before, this has been ploughed, power harrowed and a combination drilled. And if I'm honest, it's absolutely fantastic. Really is good. The plant, nice thick stem on here. Down here you can see it's actually had a shortener on. We don't want it getting too high, and then the wind that we're going to get closer to harvest blowing this crop all down and going flat, and then we'll get higher losses, and then it'll be more difficult to combine. But this field really is looking good. We'll go and have a look at the other field over here on a triangle shaped field, that where I said before it was cloddy one end. I went over with the power harrow 3 or 4 times. That was very slow getting up. That was really dry, but now we've had a rain. It'll be interesting to see what that's like. But this crop's just unbelievable. So we are now in the field, in the triangle field of spring barley that you've seen in previous videos, where this headland that I'm on, I power harrowed over about 3 times, where it was cloddy, to get a nice seed bed. Now this plant here, where it was cloddy, it struggled to come through when it was dry. It was real yellow and was sort of lacking in more, well, lacking in nitrogen as well until I got that on, and it was real sort of droughted out and yellow, like I said. And now she's all green. Look, still patchy on this headland here, but she's come up better than what I thought it was going to be. The majority of the field has come up nice and even. Pheasant there, it's come up nice and even. She's nice and green now, and yeah, I'm happy with it. It's very healthy plant indeed. You can see, not as good as the other field, and yet drilled in similar times. Still a nice thick stem on there, and I hope we can get a good crop from it. But we shall go and look at the wheats now, and see what they're like. I shall take you on a field that's after peas. So yeah, we shall see you when we get there. Better turn that down. Right, so we're at the wheat near now. I'll show you in a minute when I get out. But she's looking fantastic. She's looking good. We've got sugar beet in that field with a cover crop of barley, if you remember, and I was preparing the land for it. But we'll look at this wheat, and we'll take a look at the sugar beet, and then there's peas behind me. We'll go and have a look at that in a minute. Here we are then, in the field of wheat here, winter wheat. It was previously peas, and then we've drilled it with winter wheat because peas are a good break crop. They hold the nitrogen in the soil, and we get a nice first wheat after it. As you can see, we have a nice green plant. Bit of yellow in some places, bit of yellow rust in some places, but that'll turn around nice. It's come up nice and even. It's what we want. It's looking nice and healthy. You know, we are very pleased with this wheat, and like I said, it struggled. It was wet, then it turned dry, and it went wet again, and now this is what we need: the sun. So just moving across the road to the sugar beet. You've seen me work the land. We've got 3 fields in this block, about 30 acre, and she's come up. Got a cover crop of barley on this field because it's real light and we don't want the sugar beet blowing away, but that barley should be knocked out by spray in the coming weeks, and then you'll see the sugar beet come through. You can see it now. It's established very well considering how dry it's been, and then we've had, like I've said before, the rain, which just boosts everything up. A few weeds in here that need to be knocked out. Dad did go through here the other day with the sprayer, but it seems to me some of the chemicals that you put on sugar beet to spray and kill the weeds don't actually work. It looks a bit of a mess, but like I've said, that'll be sprayed off and you'll see the definite rows come through. And every field of beet looks like this at the moment. It does look healthy. Just moving on to the peas now, and you didn't actually see me drill these peas, but it was very dry when we drilled it. There was a bit of moisture when I was power harrowing underneath, which just give it enough for the plant to get up and get established, and it was a good job that we rolled it really to just conserve the moisture down in the soil, and then that allowed the pea seed just to poke its head through. And then we've waited for the rain, and they've come up. I'm very good. I'm happy with this. The peas can be quite a difficult crop to grow, but and a difficult crop to combine at the same time sometimes. So we'll just take a look. This feels quite clean. It's been a job to keep the pigeons off in that corner. I might just go and put a banger up in that corner. They sit on the electric wire and yeah, just have a nibble. So I'm just going to go and put a banger up now, because they keep swooping in and eating the peas. That's what we have to put up with. Pigeons. Yeah. Now then, just as I'm driving past, I thought we may as well look at this winter barley. She's slowly starting to come into ear, look. So we'll just get out and have a look at that in a minute. This is unbelievable. I don't know what he's put, what he sprayed, what Dad's put on here, but can you see the height? It's nearly up to my waist. You can just see, maybe I can get that with one hand. Just see the seeds there, look. Just coming into here. And what Dad's been doing, he's been feeding it through the sprayer, through the ear of the leaf, which we find is a better way of getting to the plant more with chemicals. Really helps them boost. Sometimes I think liquid fertiliser might be the way instead of granule, because you're feeding it from the ear. It's debatable. You can scorch with liquid fertiliser, you can scorch with granule fertiliser, but in some ways I think we might have to look at that. We shall see. Right, so we're in the potato field now that you've seen on the couple of weeks back on the video. They're not come through yet, but something's been having a dig, look. Must be a deer or something. A few weeds in the bottom end. Dad has been through here with a spray, but they'll be all knocked out when we go through with the ridger and a special machine that you'll see probably in another video if I get the drone up. But we shall have a dig, see what sort of growth stage they're at. Hopefully you can hear me. It's a bit windy. We shall have a dig and yeah, see if we've got any chits on them. As you can see, there's one chit there, just going to poke up to the surface. With this warm weather, it's going to help them. I'm not going to pull it out because that's profit. There's all different chits off here. Got another one leaning there, as you can see. So I'd say next week we should start to see them poking just above the rows now. But plenty of moisture down there. Soil's nice and, well, I say warm, it is warm. Perfect really. Right, so just finished having some docky, what we call it in the fen, meaning dinner. Don't ask me why we call it that, but we'll go and have a look at them fields uptown, them 2 fields of spring barley. You've seen us drill them on the previous video, so we'll just shoot up there and have a look at the 2 fields opposite side of the town and see what they're looking like. So we're in this field up one side of the town. If you watch previous videos, you remember us drilling this. You can still see where I've been with the rolls every now and again. I just took the drone up and you can see in there That's a roll wheeling. Mind you, the plant still looks strong and healthy, just like back on the fen soil. I mean, I'm happy with it, how it's come up here, especially on this sort of land. It's stony land, and yeah, I'm quite happy with it. How green it is. There's not too much weed in here, not too much black grass. It was fallow a season before, then we've drilled spring barley, so it's looking good. I'll chuck the drone up so we can see what the bottom end's like, because that was really wet. I had to go around with the rolls, and if you've seen on the update, well, on the rolling video, the soil was stuck to the rolls a bit as I was going, so, and I didn't really know whether I should be here rolling it or not. But we rolled it, which conserved the moisture in the ground, and now it's been so dry, it was probably the right thing to do. And the spray work, the pre-emergent spray work that Dad put on, worked better on rolled ground. So it's got its fors and against. We took a gamble and it might have paid off, so they are. All in all, it's not a disaster. It could have been worse. Could have been a lot worse. Right, so we're just at the other field. This was drilled, this is spring barley. This was drilled into much drier conditions. Yet again, it is in one of my previous videos. Go check them out. It was drilled into much drier conditions than the other field, basically. And same sort of soil, but it's just established, it's just had chance to get away more. It looks more of an even crop. And yeah, nice thick crop again. It's a nice thick crop. There was a patch the other end where it always lays wet, but I actually managed to get through the rolls, and roll that, roll it crossways when I was at the end of rolling this field. It didn't get rolled last year and it laid wet, and managed to drill it and roll it, and that's come up by the looks of it. So yeah, all in all, pretty happy with this, and hopefully we get some good yields out of it. With this sort of land, it's best not to overwork the soil. So I've been through with a cultivator, and we've been through with a subsoiler. Then you'd see we've left it over winter while it was really wet and put in spring barley. So I went with power harrow and Dad went with a drill, because that's all we had. But now we've got this new drill, hopefully we could disc it, subsoil it, and then go in with this drill, and it wouldn't come up so patchy. Maybe there's where we compacted it a bit much with a tractor. You can see probably a tyre there and a tyre here where it's not so good, and then in the middle it's fine. So just about pulling that compaction out, especially on this land. Yon end of the field there, we did have trouble with some black grass. Seems to get on top of that now. There's not too much in this field, so that's down to just tilthing the top of the soil and not going too deep and bringing some seeds up from previous years, but also putting a pre-emergence on which helps it, which seals the crop in. And yeah, basically we'd go through after harvest and spray some Roundup to kill that blackgrass as well. It seems like it's done its trick. It seems quite clean. Whether it's too early to tell, it might be coming up in the roots in the bottom of the barley, we don't know. But yet again, that's every farmer's nightmare. We have tried to get on top of it around the farm by picking it out by hand, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the crop walk today and little farm update. So if you could hit the like, hit subscribe, and we will see you again. So I'm now off to go and get a nice cold pint at the pub now they're open. Hope everyone else is enjoying the sun. We'll catch you later.